A very good Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather and night forecast, courtesy of On Target. We're continuing with the same song and dance, folks, with sunshine expected to dominate the forecast. We do have some temperature fluctuations. It's going to be with us with some moisture-starved cold fronts. It's going to be blasting through here over the upcoming days. We are continuing to keep our eyes right around the Halloween holiday, unfortunately, for the next opportunity at some significant rainfall. It's going to be moving in here. Looking at the latest surface map this morning, this dry cold front is making its way towards the region. It won't be slicing through here until tonight. But with high pressure setting up right here to our south and east, folks, we're going to have some brisk southwesterly winds to deal with throughout the day, on the cusp of 15 to 25 miles an hour at times, and that's going to take our temperatures well above average for this time of year. Let's get a look over Bowling Green to kick things off. White Squirrel Weather Nest Cam atop WKU, home of the Chem 10 Weather Conference this weekend. Come out and join us up at Ogden Hall there on Western Kentucky University. Festivities will be kicking off at 8 a.m. on Saturday and lasting throughout the day. If you are a weather weenie or a member of the general public, it is free. So come out there and check it out. Registration is available online. Jogging up I-165, we've got the Beech Tree News Sky Cam up in Morgantown, showcasing crystal clear skies over in that direction as well. Temperatures have stayed up throughout the overnight, folks. We have been watching that cold front arriving here out of the north and west, and that has presented temperatures that have jumped all the way up to right around and are held right around the mid and upper 50s region wide. Folks, it's going to be another day of temperatures some 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of year. Rays of sunshine coinciding with those strong southerly winds going to be sending highs all the way up between the low and mid 80s as we work into this afternoon. All right, so a little taste of summer here as we're getting into the thick of the fall season. Looking here at the latest surface map, folks, it tells the weather story. Dry cold front approaching here out of the north and west will be working in tandem with that area of high pressure to really kick up those southerly winds throughout the day. You should really be able to feel them pick up by roughly midday on throughout the afternoon, and that is what is going to be responsible for warming us up so much in the great outdoors. All right, so speaking of those temperature fluctuations, let's take a look at what's going to be unfolding for us here over the next 48 hours or so. We work throughout today, we get into this afternoon. Highs are going to be closing in right around the 80-degree mark, splitting either side of it. I think we could have a few areas that could bump up close to the mid-80s depending upon how strong that southerly flow is. Guidance sometimes doesn't register that southerly flow as strong as what it usually comes out to be. So a few of us could definitely hit or exceed the 80-degree threshold. Dry cold front slices through here this evening, dropping lows all the way down between the low and mid 40s. Another 10 to 20 degree difference in what we're currently seeing this morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, folks, it's going to be wonderful. Highs right around the 70-degree mark. Things are going to settle down, but we'll be able to enjoy a more typical fall-like day, at least on Thursday. Folks, as we get into our Friday, that is going to change yet again. We can look here at the latest surface map. This is valid for Thursday evening, and then we're going to progress this into the Friday afternoon time frame. Take a look at the surface map as we work into our Friday afternoon. Once again, we have a dry cold front approaching from the north and west, strong area of high pressure setting up over the Carolinas. This is going to reinforce another deep southerly flow that's going to take highs all the way back up between the low and mid 80s as we finish out the work week. Now, there's a few question marks as we work throughout the Friday night time frame, as you'll see here. Guidance is showcasing, albeit very isolated and stray, a few light sprinkles or light rain showers that could impact the region. All right, it's not going to be much of anything. If it's anything measurable, maybe 100th or 200ths of an inch that are going to come out of this. But the reinforcing jolt of colder air will be driven by this Canadian high pressure that's going to drive down to the south and east behind the cold front, settling us back in for more typical temperatures, more prone for the fall season throughout the entirety of the weekend. So that's the good news. High pressure staying to our north will keep the northerly wind component there. It should be very comfortable and wonderful throughout the entire weekend. But you will note, folks, as soon as we roll into Halloween week, with that area of high pressure shifting off to our north and east, winds are going to be turning back out of the south, and we're going to warm up yet again. You can see where these red dashed lines, all right, those are isotherms showcasing different temperature readings and how they are somewhat perpendicular to the solid thin black lines. Those are isobars signifying different pressures. Folks, remember, we see the isotherms perpendicular with those isobars. That is signifying strong winds, all right? So we've got strong winds with this tightening pressure gradients that's nosing in here. And folks, with the isotherms crossing that, it is referring to warm air advection. Deep southerly flow comes right back into the mix Monday into Tuesday on into Wednesday of next week. And that's all out ahead of what could be our next significant weather maker. Of course, right as we work into Halloween, yesterday this was showcasing this coming through on the Wednesday afternoon before Halloween, but overnight and into today, this morning, the latest model guidance is bringing this line of showers and storms through the region throughout the day on Halloween. This seems to happen more often than not for whatever reason, but we get into the phase here in the fall season of the colder air working in. We could be looking at some significant rainfall, maybe even some strong, maybe severe thunderstorms coming along with this. It'll be worth keeping very close eyes on. But folks, watch from Thursday on. We get into Thursday night, we work into our Friday, we get into Friday evening of next week, and that front somewhat tries to hang up, bringing numerous rounds of showers and storms into the mix for us. So we've been in this extraordinarily quiet pattern here over the past month or so, outside of the remnants of Hurricane Helene impacting the region. They brought copious amounts of rainfall, but folks, we are nearing back towards some drought situations that could be creeping back into the region, but this should help mitigate it as it arrives here next week, all right? So that's still roughly 8 days out, folks, but our rainfall forecast map is valid over just the next 7 days. As you can see here, maybe 1/100th of an inch or two that could get put on the ground here with a weak cold front on Friday. But outside of that, we're looking at a whole lot of nothing until we roll into Halloween of next week, with the opportunity of the widespread showers and storms impacting the Wobbles community and the surrounding region as well. Here's a full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast presented by Ohio Valley Insurance. Loads of sunshine dominate the forecast for the foreseeable future, with only temperature fluctuations as far as sensible weather impacts are concerned. Low to mid 80s this afternoon. It'll be sunny. It is going to be windy as well. We work into Thursday. It's going to be more comfortable. Friday, heating right back up near the mid 80s across the region. And then we get a reprieve there throughout the weekend before highs return right back to near 80 degrees on Monday, out ahead of that next weather maker that could be arriving late Wednesday into Halloween of next week. Folks, that's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning hump day edition of your Whether or Not forecast, brought to you by our friends at On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Have a